The Hoyo VAs are crashing out again, which they do like once a month. It feels like. Apparently, they're crashing out again. So I want to see why they're crashing out again. They do that once in a while, every time, where like something doesn't work quite at Hoyoverse, so they crash out and want to boycott it. Funnily enough, Hoyoverse doesn't just give a shit and just straight up replaces them at this point, which is interesting. But yeah, this is part one technically. Never mind. Never mind, this is part one. We need to do this one first. These English voice actors just destroyed their careers by Hero Hey. Let's go.
Hope you guys are having a great week, and thank you for tuning in. So a few weeks ago, you may have seen a video I made talking about English voice actors, specifically SAG-AFTRA union members, and how we can see across the internet that public perception has been shifting against those union voice actors more and more. Many people criticizing the actions of SAG-AFTRA and their members. Interestingly enough, I actually had two different union voice actors come to the comment section of that video angry with the video. But to one VA's credit, she actually deleted her comment after only a few hours of posting it. Probably realized it was a bad move to make that comment, that the stuff she was trying to say about my video was incorrect.
The huge problem that I've realized is with English VAs behaving the way they do, it appears more and more so that people have started to dislike the English VAs, which in return makes it easier to push for AI. I've just noticed that. The problem is that if you lose the goodwill of the people, then you're gonna be replaced by AI. I'm more and more realizing this. This has also more recently also happened with localizers, where localizers push their stuff, you know, the ideology, no matter what ideology it may be, into translations of video games or other things, and the people, or especially anime, and the people are actually a lot of more people are happy that they're getting replaced by AI. It's sad to see, but it's happening. She probably got called out for it, hence deleted it, probably.
And that she was really only making the union VAs look worse. And so I won't be naming that voice actress, but there is another voice actress, the second one who came to my comment section, and her comment is still there. Let's take a look at this. Allegedly from this English voice actress, Cher Kirby, says, "This video is full of misinformation. If you're not a member of SAG-AFTRA, maybe don't make videos like this. Thanks." They got a response from only 17 hours ago, actually, that reads, "So you're not allowed to talk about an issue if you're not a member of the protection racket being called out? That's not how it works." Now, interestingly enough, there's a post on the Genshin Impact subreddit from only 7 hours ago calling out the recent actions of Cher Kirby. We're not going to read that just yet, though, because I'd like to give you all the context, because this whole situation involves many more people than just Cher Kirby, as so many people on the internet right now are calling out union voice actors overall, including SAG-AFTRA itself. So I'll give you the context about what started.
Yeah, I would like to hear the context. Why union voice actors? What is specifically wrong with that? Aren't unions usually something positive? Because they fight for workers' rights? Or am I missing something? Well, obviously I do miss context here in this case.
All that over the last 24 hours or so. And it all begins here on March 26. This post with now 2.9 million plus views over on Twitter from voice actor Jacob Takanashi makes this announcement about how he's joining Genshin Impact as a new voice actor, saying, "Role announcement. I'm honored to join the English cast of Genshin Impact as the voice of Kinnick. Taking up the mantle of Malipo is a privilege, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to carry the flame from the previous flame bearer, John, who did an incredible job. Those are big shoes to fill, and I promise to give it my all, out of respect for him, for Hoyoverse, and for you, the fans. Thank you to Diana for their amazing direction and for helping me navigate the intricacies of this incredible game, and to Side Tokyo and Hoyoverse for the honor of bringing Kinnick to life. I'm deeply grateful for the privilege of entertaining you all."
Nothing wrong with that. He was nice, he was friendly. This announcement. Is the issue that he's not part of the union? Or that he took over the job of somebody who is part of the union? I would assume so. But then, I don't know, did they go after him?
However, in the responses, we can see a number of voice actors getting very upset at Jacob Takanashi.
This is okay. This is actually kind of diabolical. If you need the money, at least take the role uncredited. This just comes off as an easy grab for clout. It's not a good look. Huh? Yes. It, like, uncredited. It is his job now. He's gonna do it now. Why should he not do it uncredited? He is obviously the one doing it now. And the old voice actor is not doing it anymore, and probably never will again. He was nice, acknowledged the previous VA's contributions, thank everyone, that's the way to go. 100%. The original voice actor for that character is also extremely woke. Oh, well, oh, that's what we're doing, huh? Ah, that brings me back to the times people were crashing out and boycotting Hoyoverse over Natlan. But they were not boycotting. They were boycotting, but still playing the game. Which is not boycotting. There are many reasons why roles get recast. Personally, I draw the line when the original actor's holding out because they are fighting for better work conditions. Yes, but that's not his fault. If he's gonna get the job, he's gonna get the job. It's very easy. I've refused many auditions to take over roles for my peers because I'd never do that to another fellow actor. Well, then that's your morals, but you can't put that on somebody else. That wasn't passing the torch. I mean, hey, if somebody's a voice actor and quits because he doesn't like it, and I get the chance to do it, I'm gonna do it. Also, said union is bullying non-union voice actors. Oh, oh, okay.
Comments from Western voice actors, such as Kaylee Mills, saying, "This is actually kinda diabolical. If you need the money, at least take the role uncredited. This just comes off as an easy grab for clout. It's not a good look." Valeria Rodriguez leaving a number of thumbs down. Stephanie Shess.
Isn't Valeria Rodriguez the voice actress for that one green hair girl from what was the Mondstadt? Isn't she the voice actress, or was the voice actress? I could be wrong. The revisions for the third year anniversary is crazy. Yep, yep, that is crazy. I agree, that is crazy. That is greedy. And for Dokkan Battle, they literally gave you one of the anniversary headliners for free. Yes, even if you just started. That was crazy. Like, you could get the character for free that solos the entire game.
Saying, "There are many reasons why roles get recast. I personally draw the line when the original actor is holding out because they are fighting for better work conditions. I've refused many auditions to take over roles from my peers because I'd never do that to another fellow actor." And Karina Boetker saying, "This wasn't a passing of the torch." Karina being the English voice of Paimon in Genshin Impact, and someone that we'll be coming back to later in this video, as Karina also made other statements relating to the situation that many people in the Genshin fandom are...
Nobody cares. It's Paimon. Everybody hates Paimon. If you can skip the dialogue, you'll skip. You'll just end up as emergency food.
Pointing out and exposing for immense hypocrisy. But yeah, these sort of comments from voice actors upset with Jacob go on and on. For example, here's another one. Ruben Lack saying, "Dude, really classless move considering an actor was fighting for AI protections on this job. I appreciate folks want the paycheck, but they should know crossing a picket line is an immediate and permanent black mark."
But harassing the voice actor is not gonna bring people onto your side. Harassing the voice actor would not... You're bringing this criticism to the voice actor. Why not bring this criticism to Hoyoverse? Like... You think you're gonna get people on your side with that behavior? No, you won't. This sounds so mean. He got offered a new role. Why would he decline? Because, why not thinking of the greater good?
Another voice actor, Luis Bermudez, saying, "My hope is you were misled and weren't fully aware that John was withholding his work to fight for a better future for actors everywhere. If that's the case, you have the opportunity to do the funniest thing right now. But if not, and you continue in this role, yikes, man." It's also not just
Oh wait, there was another one. He didn't read that out. You're misled. You weren't fully aware that John was withholding. Not really. I mean, if he's withholding, well, he has a new voice actor now. So I don't think John is gonna return to his job anymore. I think my guy got fired at this point if you're being replaced like this. Y'all harassing him should realize that he's working from Japan. The strike is only happening in America. He's not under the strike in any shape or form just because he does VA work in English. Yeah, that means he's not even he's in this case, he would not even be affected. Like, it does not matter. Is bullying a guy for doing his job the greater good nowadays? Apparently so. Bully him out of the job so he does not do the work. And that's the problem, right? What you're doing now is you bully somebody out of their job, and then if they don't have anybody to work with you, they're just gonna choose AI regardless. So what you're doing isn't helping you.
not, and you continue in this role, yikes, man. It's also not just English VAs leaving negative comments to Jacob, but also various union supporters in general. For example, this response to Jacob's statement reading, "Let's call it what it is. You're an effing scab." However, there's also a lot of comments defending Jacob. For example, the comment there in the center reading, "Y'all harassing him should realize that he's working from Japan. The strike is only happening in America. He's not under the strike in any shape or form just because he does VA work in English." And happening in America. He's not under the strike.
Father, husband, Tokyo-based voice actor. He is a Tokyo-based voice actor. He is not even part of it. And you're harassing the dude, that's crazy. Why are these people so mean? Spirited, leave the guy alone. You can forget that with these people.
Strike in any shape or form.
It's Twitter, it's just a shouting match. At the end of the day, it's all on Twitter.
Just because he does VA work in English. And other comments like, "Why pile on the guy? He's a VA based in Japan. They have different labor laws in there. And congrats on your new role. Warning you now that fandoms can be toxic, and apparently other VAs too. Don't give in." While I do think any Genshin fan would admit that the Genshin fandom can be toxic, it's really interesting because in this particular situation, it seems like the Genshin fandom at large is actually defending Jacob. And we'll get to that when we hop over to the Genshin subreddit in a moment. First, we'll get some more additional context. That takes us over to John Patnoid. Hopefully I said that right. This is the voice actor who got replaced by Jacob. John says, "Hey everyone. If you've been playing the latest 5.5 update in Genshin Impact and you're hearing Kinnick speak for the first time in 6 months, it's not my voice. I've been recast. I've been withholding voiceover services during the SAG-AFTRA interactive strike because Hoyo/Cognosphere would not offer AI protections in the form of a SAG interim agreement." Now let's pause there real quick because this is something a lot of people are taking issue with, specifically how it comes off like these union voice actors and executives are conveniently leaving things out and really only telling the public certain bits of information and simultaneously trying to have all the public support them as if they're entitled to the public supporting their cause no matter what, especially with how these negotiations may negatively impact non-union voice actors. And all this has been costing the union voice actors support. A lot of people are no longer willing to support the union VAs. And as has been a recurring theme throughout this video so far, that's something else we'll also be getting into more details about in a moment once we get through the rest of this context. So back to the statement. John says, "They'd kept my character's dialogue silent for months, all the while I had to make the difficult decision to continue not going in until an interim agreement was signed, and this ultimately was why I was recast." Now obviously a recast is not...
Yeah, then stop being a bitch. The people attacking the other guy, stop being bitches. It's very simple. Do your job, and you should be fine. If you harass another guy, you will lose. You lost your job. That's all it is at the end of the day. You lost your job. Get over it. All those union voice actors are just butthurt because of them being replaced by people who actually do their job that they're paid for. Also, they wouldn't offer AI protections, which I find interesting. what do you, the thing is, like, what do you think is gonna happen if you don't do your job at all? You're just accelerating. You're just accelerating the problem. You're just accelerating the problem. Because if you don't do your job, AI will. You don't, AI doesn't need to get paid. They're not never gonna strike. I wonder if these people understand it, that you're just gonna accelerate this problem. I don't want to do my job. You can't do it either. Let's all just of us be jobless, pretty much.
Not what I wanted. I'd hoped that any progress behind the scenes would be made, and I could come back safely, or that if recast auditions went out, my colleagues wouldn't read for them. Unfortunately, I was wrong. I absolutely adored playing Kinnick. Genshin was my comfort game during the early parts of the pandemic, and it was a dream of mine to book a playable
God, I hate that word, comfort game.
character. At the time, I didn't have an agent, didn't live in LA, or had any connections that would get me close. But 4 years later, I did it, and the messages I've received from you all, saying how much my performance as Kinnick meant to you, made my heart swell. I would and can return if Hoyo invites me back and signs an interim. I stand by my choice.
Yeah, you won't return, buddy. You won't return. The newer voice, you practically got replaced, you got fired, you won't return. Because the other guy's doing his job, you aren't.
Regardless of the outcome. Also, the strike is still ongoing. Please don't believe this information on the internet. My best wishes to the cast and the production team. Thank you for everything, JP. Alright, with all that context, that takes us over to the Genshin Impact subreddit as previously mentioned. In this post reading, Kaching's VA, Kaching being a character from Genshin, use their character to attack Kinnick's new VA. Are we just going to accept this nonsense? Kinnick's new VA, Jacob Takanashi, is currently being bullied by some VAs, including those who voiced Genshin characters like Paimon's VA, Karina, and Kaching's VA, Kaylee Mills. In Jacob's announcement post, Kaylee Mills attacked Jacob for accepting the job. When someone disagreed with her, she said, "I guarantee you Kaching would be doing the work to educate people and do what's best for the people."
Is she self-inserting? Like, are you are no, you are self-inserting into Kaching. 100%. You are one. Kaching is not real. She can't educate anybody. It's a fictional character. It's pixels on a screen. I wonder when Skynet will take over. Soon. I can't take any more of these people. The new VA was so nice. The older one just comes off as salty. It's so petty. I mean, they're all petty. Send another link on Discord request. It's from Internet Anarchist. Okay, thank you.
What do you think about this? I feel bad for Kinnick's new VA. He's just doing his job. He's not a US VA.
I think that's not what they're getting, right? That's not what they're getting. He's not in the States. He's in Japan. They don't understand this, I think.
Here's his post. As of recording, that post over on Reddit collecting over 4,200 upvotes and over 1,800 comments. The top comment on that post saying, "Wish she talked this much when people called her out for supporting Mosey's old VA, who is a sexual abuser." She supported him? She supported him in 2020 when he posted his statement, then congratulated him when his role was announced. She doubled down here.
Caught in 4K. That is crazy. You can't just support a predator and and then double down. Yeah, you are a horrible person. Okay. Bye, Look, see you tomorrow. Bye, Zim. Take care. That is funny.
Apparently, another one of his supporters, Sam's VA from HSR, Honkai Star Rail, is also one of the current VAs targeting Jacob right now. Funny how that's a correlation they both have. It's seriously starting to look like a clique, or some sort of Nepo circle to be honest. That's a very reasonable assessment, and something a lot of anime and gaming fans came to realize, especially around 2019, as the whole situation with Vic and Funimation at all.
Yeah, remember the old voice actor for Broly? The old voice actor for Broly? I really can't pronounce his last name, but it's Vic. Pretty much he was bullied out of Funimation, and like they were labeling him like a predator and stuff. He didn't do anything though. They had no proof for nothing at all. Hey, and people still love him. Guess who they don't like? The voice actors that bullied him out. Yeah, that was a crazy situation. They literally ruined this guy's career. It is crazy.
Put a giant spotlight on the corrupt and cliquey part of the industry. Another set of top comments reading, "Man, what the frick is going on with English VAs?" Same as always. Not even Zenless Zone Zero and Honkai Star Rail VAs were very supportive of the new VAs that replaced former ones, who also were fired from the strike. Genshin VAs are incredibly petty and acting like a clique now, not a professional look. I learned my lesson after the Bayonetta fiasco. They're all a bunch of drama queens. What do
Oh yeah, remember the Bayonetta thing where the old voice actors of Bayonetta lied that like about getting the money and stuff from her job and like complained that it wasn't enough, yet it was absolutely enough. I remember that.
you mean? Bayonetta's original VA lied about the studio trying to screw her pay for the third game and asked fans to boycott it. Until they being the studio, showed receipts and proved she was making it up. That situation was crazy. She literally tried to get the internet to be her personal army, and then it came out that she was basically lying to people according to my recollection, and was completely in the wrong. That takes us to a number of top comments specifically calling out Paimon's voice actor as well for hypocrisy, and as further evidence for how cliquey the English voice actors are, how they'll choose some people to go after, but give others a pass. For example, this comment reading, "Paimon's VA is pissing me off the most. Technically I'm scabbing, but it's okay because I'm autistic and have to pay my bills."
Wait, what? Huh? What do you mean?
Cliquey the English voice actors are, how they'll choose some people to go after, but give others a pass. For example, this comment reading, "Paimon's VA is pissing me off the most. Technically I'm scabbing, but it's okay because I'm autistic and have to pay my bills."
Not again. Not again. Not again. We have once again autistic people claiming that they can't do any wrong because they're autistic. Not again. I agree with the representative last. 66. Not again. I'm autistic, kneel before me. Autism superiority complex. I'm calling it now. That way. That behavior. That is so just stupid. And the whole Vic thing went down to the point also where like he also stopped like giving hugs and stuff for like fan meetings and stuff in general. Not just women, just in general, not getting too close to people. It was crazy.
Like what? You don't know what the frick is going on in anybody's life but your own. He could be disabled, he being Jacob Takanashi. His mom could have cancer. He could be trying to feed his dang kids, or heaven forbid, he could have nothing going on and just wants a paycheck, and you know what? That's his business and no one else's. Let the man be proud to be a part of such a big, successful project, and stop being such a hypocrite. A different top post on our Genshin Impact saying, "Paimon, Kaching, and Cabaret's VAs responding to Jacob Takanashi, Kinnick's new VA. I kind of feel bad for Kinnick's new VA," and showing a number of tweets from the aforementioned voice actors saying negative things about Jacob Takanashi. Many of those we already went over earlier in the video, so let's skip to the comments. This one saying, "Oh wow, even Hu Tao's..."
What did she say? What? There's a huge difference when you take the role of an actor who's striking for AI protections. You are no castmate of mine. Are you retarded? He is no castmate of you to begin with. He is a JP VA who does English stuff for a little bit. Like, what are you... What? God, I hate it here.
Mentioned voice actors saying negative things about Jacob Takanashi. Many of those we already went over earlier in the video, so let's skip to the comments. This one saying, "Oh wow, even Hu Tao's VA is going after the new guy." And showing this screenshot, we haven't seen this one yet. This VA, Brianna, responding to John, the prior VA for Kinnick's statement, which we read earlier, saying, "Thank you for standing strong and holding the line with us. You're a real one." Clears throat. Some of us, SMFH. But if we take a look at the comments in response to her, they're pretty much all against her. For example, going through this just from the top, "At this point, companies should just give up on English voice actors whatsoever. It worked for Snowbreak, it can work for all of them."
Yeah, did the new VA tell the guy to go on the strike if you won't do it? Someone would. Yeah, the new guy can't even go on a strike, right? They just don't want him to take the job. That's pretty much what it is. And also, if you don't know, the Snowbreak situation was the English voice actors didn't want the game to be so lewd. I played Snowbreak a little bit. It's actually kind of fun. I've stopped, but it's actually kind of fun. They didn't want the game to be so lewd, and so they stopped working, parting ways with Snowbreak. You know what the Snowbreak devs did? They doubled down, fired all the English VAs, and made the game even hornier. They doubled down, and it worked for them. The game was almost dying, and now it's actually it's winning. It's winning.
And side note, if you're not familiar with the Snowbreak thing, I did go over that briefly at the end of the video I mentioned at the start of this one regarding my last coverage of this English VA stuff, so consider checking that out for more info on that. Other comments like, y'all are pieces of garbage, man. Gotta love the hypocrisy and self-righteousness. Honestly, seeing some of the other VAs attack someone for taking a job, I hope you all get recast. Yeah, there's just dozens and dozens of comments roasting this VA, but I don't want to get too sidetracked from the Paimon stuff because there's actually still a
Yeah, they're cooking her. They're absolutely cooking her. Fully deserved. They're digging their own graves with this.
lot more to go over regarding that part of the whole thing. For example, back over on Reddit, this comment with over 1,800 upvotes saying, how nice of Karina, Paimon's VA, to support VAs not getting paid while cashing a check every patch. Also, while having the most lines means most likely getting paid the most. Like, aren't they the #1 person with the most influence and pull if they striked? Stroked? Struck. There are many other top comments over on Reddit calling out Karina, but let's hop back over to Twitter, because there are various comments on Twitter calling Karina out directly, to which Karina even responded. In this exchange, we can see where Karina had said to Jacob Takanashi, this wasn't a passing of the torch. And this user Luminescence saying, and you working on it is still good for the strike? Like, make it make sense.
Wait, she's... Oh, I get it just now. She's still working. She's still working with Hoyo. She's working with Hoyo, but she criticizes people working with Hoyo. What? Huh? You are a hypocrite. Oh, you shouldn't take roles from Hoyoverse because they're not giving us AI protection, but I'm still gonna work with Hoyoverse because I need that money. What?
Karina then responded with this set of tweets saying, no, you're right. I am technically scabbing. I originally have this role, and technically I can still work this role. I am a disabled person, and this is the job that puts food on my table, as I actually record this role year-round. But I didn't take this role from another person.
That's still hypocritical? Because if you say, yo, we should protect... Like, do you see yourself talking? You could be replaced by AI even easier because you have the most lines. They could use all your voice acting. Because it's not yours, technically, right? They could use all your voice acting and feed AI with it. Are you even aware of this? Oh god. I'll make my bag, but you guys can't. Like, dude. You cannot say, yo, these people are fighting for their not being replaced by AI, right? But at the same time, you work for the company that's trying to do that. And once again, I'm a disabled person. So? You're not... Apparently, you can form your own opinions, and you can form coherent sentences. Seems like you are reasonable enough to understand that this does not protect you.
Who was striking. I had this role, and I am stuck in it because I have no other way to pay my medical bills. But yes, technically, I am a scab, and you're right, I don't deserve any praise right now. I don't deserve any of it. I deserve to be told off just like this actor, so please do.
No, people are just annoyed by your hypocrisy. It's like you cannot advocate against, for example, by just an example, you can advocate against sexism and then be sexist. These people are pissing me off. It is victim. Yeah, it is a victim. It's the victim complex.
No one should look up to me. I'm trapped and a coward because I continue this job because if not, I end up homeless. I don't say that because I deserve sympathy. I don't. The one stick.
Then why do you bring it up? It's like, you say you don't want sympathy, then why do you bring it up? You could have stopped it here. But you made two more.
To the picket line deserve all the praise, not me. I love voicing Paimon. Love it.
Yeah, but we don't love you. I hate her voice. It has gotten better because for some reason it's now deeper than it originally was, but man, I hate that voice.
I've been through so much that you guys will never truly understand. But I also know what I am. And
okay. I don't say that because I deserve sympathy. I have to pay my medical bills. I am disabled. Earlier. I will end up homeless. I've been through so much that you guys will never truly understand. Yeah, I don't want your sympathy. Sure, buddy. Sure. I'll go homeless. This puts food on the table. By the way, I don't want your sympathy. I don't want my sympathy. I don't want sympathy.
And I should not be given any applause for this. If I could feasibly stick the line with my fellow actors, I would. This job actually barely keeps me alive. But that doesn't mean that it makes it different. It is not a good thing to my
It barely keeps me alive. We're farming.
fellow actor that I continue to work on this game. I have struggled with that since the strike started, so call me out for this. Please, I deserve it. If it means we get closer to making things better, then so be it. A top response to Karina saying, so
she just continues, right? She just continues. I do not deserve it. Attack me. I'm at fault. I do not deserve it. What? What are you saying?
So what? Many disabled people work remotely in other professions. Voice acting is not your only option if it puts you in such an unethical position. But you have to seek attention on Twitter.com like a 16-year-old and present yourself like a saint in the whole
Diabolical ratio.
community. Karina responding saying, I definitely don't present myself as a saint, but you don't know my disability and what I am able to do. Same way you don't know any other VA situations either. Imagine someone shamed you for just trying to make ends meet, which at this point may as well be warranted. There's also a difference between taking a role quietly and bragging about getting it when the other VA was recast for striking. He wasn't even aware of the situation. He lives in Japan. Y'all are so out of touch. So let me know what you think about the Karina stuff. Do you think Karina's response was good, that the points are fair? Or do you think it's an example of hypocrisy from these voice actors? Or perhaps something
Just once again, I'm a victim. Like, sorry, I don't really have sympathy. That's not working on me. I'm immune to that. I've seen hundreds upon hundreds of people doing the same behavior. She's a professional victim. She's me for real. You're a professional victim. She got ratioed, yeah.
else. Moving on to the next VA, that takes us back to Shara Kirby in this post that says, Shara Kirby, Candace VA, opinion on Hoyo and Genshin's fanbase. This once again being the VA who allegedly left a comment on my video, where Shara Kirby is apparently over on Blue Sky saying, in response to Jacob Takanashi's announcement post, this gotta be the most classless thing I've seen with everything going on. Have fun with Genshin. You'll never work on anything else, LMFAO. It's also interesting how they're recording.
Why are you saying he's never gonna work on anything else? He's Japanese. Or, well, he lives in Japan. They don't give a rat's ass. I can almost guarantee that he probably has roles that he where he voices a character in Japanese. Like, okay. Also, is that kind of like a threat saying, yo, you will not work on anything else because you did that and we're gonna bully you out of it? This wasn't even about her. She wasn't involved. She butts in, makes everything about herself. Get well ratioed.
In Japan for English dub now? Wow, cool. Go a bed and recast me too while you're at it. Screw Hoyo, disrespectfully.
And I would. If I were Hoyo and I'd be reading that, I would. Hey, you don't like me? I'm gonna replace you.
Because let's be frank, who's going to beat me over a video game that underpays its performers and is actively farming their voices so that they don't have to hire real people? I do hope it was worth it, truly I do. You'll never catch me singing.
Would. Didn't quite catch that. Because let's be frank, who's going to beat my ass over a video game that underpays its performers and is actively farming the voices so that they don't have to hire real people? Well, it's China, baby.
Is actively farming their voices so that they don't have to hire real people? I do hope it was worth it, truly I do. You'll never catch me singing that company or any company that operates that way to a simple request of protecting the talents they hired. Singing praises for, sorry, not sorry, I rage quit. One more thing. I have never dealt with a fanbase as callous and as annoying as the Genshin fanbase, who would go so far as to berate the voice actors, who only want—
Huh? Let me get this straight. You hate you dislike the company. You dislike the fan base. Why are you here? Why are you still here? Of course you don't have to. Of course you don't have to like everything that your company does or the fan base does. But if you don't like it here, why are you here?
Want better protections and rates for being rightfully upset.
It's like you're in a bar, but you hate, but you hate being with people. Why are you here?
That someone publicly scabbed. Just insanity. The only other one I've dealt with like this is the Murder Drones fanbase, and only one of those doxed me. I'm not in the business of arguing and fighting with children. I'm gonna delete some of that thread later, because this is a semi-professional page.
Somebody was faster. Somebody was faster. I wonder, I have to say though, for like Hurahei or Ref, they have their they 100% have their molds somewhere that they can get this stuff before it's deleted. They have to be spawn camping to get this stuff.
But TLDR, don't talk to me about Genshin Impact ever again. KK. Top comments of that post reading: the United States isn't the only place where English is spoken well. Also, there are US citizens across the world right now working remotely. I'm confused too, since when English becoming exclusive to US and US only? Apparently, Hoyo's characters are theirs and only theirs to voice. They just forgot to notify Hoyo about that. Another top comment in that exchange saying, well, that's one of the most unprofessional resignations I've ever seen. If I was a voice caster for any other field of work, I'd probs not hire her based on this alone. It's so unprofessional and going into unhinged territory. Honestly, I won't be surprised if Hoyo is now gathering all this to bring—
Yeah. It is unprofessional. Like, having this crash out. Expecting loyalty in return from massive company is kind of living in a it's not just kind of living in the fantasy, it is living in the fantasy. It is. The companies you work for are not loyal to you. They originally were, back in the day where it was harder to replace people. You should not be loyal to your company. You should be loyal to the money. You should do your job, pretty much.
all of them to the negotiating table and have a word with what they just said regarding Jacob. Those may be personal accounts, but I imagine Hoyo doesn't want a bunch of VAs going around starting a civil war with other VAs, and make it look like Hoyo's VAs are some cult. There's a pretty well understood line where your personal account ends, and it's right around where you start bad-mouthing the company that pays your salary, lol. It's one thing if these VAs were trashing on each other, purely on principle, but they're literally name-dropping the game and the company, and that's a huge no-no in any job. It reflects poorly on the company. Hope she's prepared to explain these tweets to her future employers. This is just hot air. There's no way they actually put their money where their mouth is and resign. Doesn't matter, because that statement is basically all Hoyo needs to get her to never voice for them ever again. Whether she wants to backtrack or not, this can be considered a surefire resignation in Hoyo point of view, due to the atrocious mannerisms and statements made by her. Yep, she basically burned every single bridge of possibility that she'll ever get casted in a Hoyoverse game ever again. And I'm sure there'll be some game companies that see this as well, and would prefer not to take an...
I mean, it makes sense, right? Uh, Refusing to work and going on a strike and then getting replaced already shows that Hoyoverse is easily capable of getting rid of people that they do not no longer need or want.
VA this volatile in their games. What a way to sabotage your VA career. Essentially, the entire post is criticizing her. Let me know what you think about that part of the situation. And finally, we'll take a look at some public reception for the SAG-AFTRA agreement overall. On a post about the agreement terms, we see top comments like this. Bruh, so if Hoyo is forced to sign, all non-union VAs are effectively forced to join the union in a month or else.
Wait, you're pretty much forced then to join the union? That's interesting.
Which would limit them to only American VAs, giving the union a monopoly over the English voice acting in all the affected projects. I know it's Reddit, but countries other than America exist. Not necessarily only American VAs, but SAG actors, the majority of which are American. It's semantic, but non-Americans can join SAG if they work in the US. Many VAs don't want to join a mafia organization. The mafia is asking for a membership protection fees plus continuous fees. It sucks every money from VA.
Wait. Many VAs don't want to join a mafia organization. It's more like a clique, but okay. The mafia is asking for a membership protection fees. Membership protection fees? Wait, so you join the you practically would be forced to join the union and pay fees? And continuous fees? It sucks every money from VAs. Oh. Oh, that's a problem.
Meanwhile, all the union VAs are crying about being misinfo when someone points this out. They're doing the "it's us or them," and they pick themselves. They're more than willing to screw over non-union VAs, because why do they get to make money while I'm jobless? Even though studios like Studio Cadence, ZZZ, have non-AI clause and supports negotiations about AI with SAG, yet these VAs kept pushing AI as an issue to sign the agreement. Bold to assume that the kind of people who go online and harass a colleague are actually smart people. I bet that 80% didn't even read or grasp what they are striking for, but just get the TLDR from their agent/agency. Interestingly enough, some union voice actors are attempting to say that the union actually does care about non-union actors. For example, in this tweet by Koi Dao, part of it reads, "During the strike, the SAG negotiating committee has expressed they want to help non-union actors keep their jobs and are willing to negotiate a waiver for the must-join rule for any project that needs it."
Must join. But why? I would rather prefer having freedom of not needing to join it and still have the protection in this case, but in this case, that's not happening. Yeah, I don't think you kind of care. They're just spoiled. I don't know who spoiled them, but someone did. Yeah.
But this person, Lynn, responds, saying, "I don't know. I remember the video from the SAG guy who said non-union VAs are lesser than union VAs."
Oh god, yeah, nah. As if I would support that union if I was a VA. Hell no. If somebody tells me, since I'm not in the union, I'm worse than people that are in the union, yeah, and then deleted off the backlash, yeah, cooked.
Which was deleted after the backlash. So I can't really believe they want to help the non-unions, lol. Once again, we have Karina Bodiger here saying, "You mean the one that wasn't even said during this strike? Keep up, this is a different strike now." Also, the entire union screamed at him for that. To give you additional context, I believe it was Duncan Crabtree Ireland, the National Executive Director and Chief Negotiator for SAG-AFTRA, who made those disparaging remarks towards non-union actors, specifically saying that they're quote-unquote lesser quality. So while some union members...
Lesser quality? Well, they can't be that much lesser quality if Hoyoverse picks them over the union workers, it seems.
gave him backlash on social media for those remarks, it doesn't seem like there's any serious action taken against him. It seems like he still has that top executive position. And furthermore, it seems like his position at the union is getting him a salary of over $1 million a year. Lastly, on SAG-AFTRA's own website, they have a section dedicated to talking about financial court. A brief summary of financial court reads, financial court refers to a legal carve-out that permits workers opposed to participating in a labor union to be employed under the benefits of a union's contracts without compelling them to be a member of that union. In which SAG-AFTRA says, financial core members are viewed as scabs or anti-union by SAG-AFTRA members.
I mean, that confirms it. If I was in the VA and I was a non-union VA, I would be considered by SAG-AFTRA as a lesser being, so to speak. What?
Directors and writers, most of whom also belong to entertainment unions. And as you surely know, scab is used as a derogatory term for people who are not a part of the union or who cross picket lines, etc., etc.
They have slurs for voice actors? Huh? I didn't know that. That's new information. Chat, new slur just dropped, but just towards voice actors who are not in unions.
The point is, while some union members attempt to say that SAG-AFTRA really does care about people who are not a part of the union, it seems like the union's own actions and terms, as well as this whole situation recently with a number of union VAs and how they've treated Jacob, has caused many people to be skeptical, to say the least. But anyways, let me know what you think about this stuff in the comments. Hope you enjoyed my coverage, and if you did, please consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next.
That is interesting. Yeah, they went mask off. This is crazy. Yeah, and they wonder why they're getting replaced by AI at this point. Why they're so scared. We know why they're so scared, because they can't pull up this shit. Interesting. This is interesting. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. It's really just ridiculous. This behavior. Just do your fucking job. Do what you've been paid for.